Hello, my name's Jade, and today we're going to be talking about The Ring of the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz. This is a fantasy book with the premise that England rules the world, basically. It conquered France at some point, and so it's the something Britain Franco Empire or something along those lines. The people that rule France aren't in power anymore. And the Queen rules this place, but she's advised by her Merlin because they have magicians, and that's how they took over everything. Our main character here is Mary. She is the princess's daughter. The Brito-Franco whatever it was called was at war with Prussia, but Prussia ended up winning the war, and so as peace, Prince Mary must marry Leopold, the eldest prince of Russia, and then together they will become a queen and king. However, the queen is like 150 odd. Mary is like 17. So the queen had her when she was like 130. So Mary has all these ailments and isn't really the fittest of leaders. Then we have her best friend, Aylwin. She is that Merlin guy's daughter. He's not actually called Merlin. I can't remember his actual name, but he's like the Merlin. That's what they refer to him as. And she is his daughter, a legal daughter. And so she will end up helping Mary rule the world. Then we have Ronan. She is from America, New York. Her mom and her dad are sending off to England so she can marry because they've gone bankrupt. Next we have Wolf. He is, remember that Prince of Prussia, Leopold? He is his younger brother, Wolf, and he comes back from New York because he just went visiting to America, so he comes back and he ends up being tied in. And lastly we have Isabel, and she was Leopold's fiance, but she has to end the relationship because he's marrying Mary. I'm pretty sure she would be the rightful Queen of France had Britain not taken over everything. It has all kinds of chaos and rumours and scandals. Aylwin kind of has a thing for Prince Leopold, who Mary's supposed to be marrying, but it's okay because she has a thing for one of her guards. Isabel doesn't really want to break up with Leo, and all kinds of drama goes down. And it was so entertaining and so fun. This world with the magicians was awesome, and kind of the way magic worked was really fun. The setting was amazing because it's set in the 20th century, I know that much, but it's still really kind of old-fashioned. It reminded me exactly of the Infernal Devices books, and they're set in like the 1800s, so that would be the 19th century. So I don't know if like electricity just isn't around because they have magic and so they don't need electricity or whatever, but they still have, you know, carriages, all those kind of things. I don't know, is this, I'm pretty sure it's like late 1900s, I'm not sure. But yeah, I really enjoyed that kind of time periodness of it. Just the whole kind of atmosphere was so cool, and the concept behind it was really fun as well. The characters I had difficulty with. There were moments where I loved them, but then there were also moments where I hated them, and this happened to each and every one of them. Apart from Wolf, I have loved him from the very start. He's without doubt my favourite character. Probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Having finished this book, I was really liking it. But then, and I still want to read it. I want to read the second book so bad. I can't remember what it's called now. There's something in the Quartzman. It should be like teal or navy and gold. How cool would that be? Because this cover is gorgeous. At first I hated her head and I wanted this to just like be bigger and it just be like huge, The Ring and the Crown on this beautiful background, because that font's pretty amazing. But I mean, I've gotten used to the head, it's fine, whatever. I just want this all over my walls. It's so pretty. There's actually a book trailer for this one and it's pretty cool. It gives the atmosphere gets it spot on and the music is really cool. I think as far as book trailers go, it's a pretty good one. So I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. So that is all for the non-spoiler part of this video. I'm not going to get into details and spoil the book. So if you haven't read it, I recommend you leave now. I really liked the intro when they kind of broke everything down and said the history of it. That whole queen thing, and she had a dream about 2 daughters. One was a traitor and one was her daughter, and she didn't know which one it would be. Was that relevant to the story at all? What? Why was that there? Just there to show how bad a parent she is that she doesn't even know who her own daughter is. But then the end, oh man, I don't know, that, whatever. As I said before, I really love the time period and the setting. It just kind of give it extra boost to kind of really give that this really cool Victorian, is that even the right era? It was Victorian England in the Infernal Devices, wasn't it? Because it feels exactly the same to me. Well, another thing that I really liked about it was the quotes. A half unconscious queen, but this time adequate, erect, with will to choose or to reject, and I choose just a crown. Emily Dickinson. I have no idea what that means, let's be real. Who run the world? Girls. Who run this mother? Girls. Beyonce. Run the world. Girls. Even this one, which is like, makes sense to the story. Everyone's here and frightfully gay. Nobody cares what people say. Noel Cowers. I went to a marvellous party. I really liked this one. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee. Lord Royals. That was my hero. I smiled so hard. That was just after Leopold died, but I hated him, so it's okay. I've tried to organise it by character, so what impacted each character the most. Let's start off with Mary. It was kind of hard to like her because she was kind of so weak, and it's kind of, you just love the characters that are really strong and you know they're gonna do things and get things done. You typically like them the most, especially in these kind of fantasy actiony, well, not necessarily actiony, but worlds where she will still need to take charge as queen. And because she was weak, I think it kind of puts you off a little bit because she was that kind of too nice, too soft, a bit of a pushover character. No one really likes a pushover when it comes to YA literature. But she was so nice and so sweet, it was hard. I think I definitely liked her towards the end, and in the beginning. There's kind of phase throughout the middle where she was just kind of too weak and too kind of pushover, but at the same time really stubborn. And it was a weird mix. I loved how she didn't give in to Leo, and he was saying these really cheesy lines and she would laugh and just turn him down, because I absolutely hated him. He was so false. He wasn't charming at all. He was pretending. It was obvious he was pretending. Like, no one would say that kind of thing in that kind of way. Especially after they'd been friends, like when they were younger. They would want to catch up first. Just shut up. I was so worried that with the escape plan and she wanted Eowyn to become queen, because I really wanted her to be queen. I trusted her as queen. Not that I didn't trust Eowyn, but I didn't trust her with Leo because she kind of liked Leo, and I thought she'd be a pushover if he wanted to do something, and she would totally go with whatever he said, and so if he were to make a bad judgment she would just go with it, whereas Mary would be actually no, that's not the right thing to do. Nah, not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm really glad she ended up that she's gonna be queen. I just didn't like the idea of her going away with Gale. She needed to be in the palace. It was her place. She was letting down so many people, and when she kind of realised it and realised it was her job, and yeah, you had to make sacrifices, but it was your duty. I loved that moment. It was just such a happy, proud moment, and it's such a lovely lesson. But it was hard as well because I did want her to be with, well, I didn't want her to be with Gale. I wanted her to be with Wolf. Stuff Leo, stuff Gale. I want Wolf. When she started saying how they were friends when they were younger, and he started saying they were friends when they were younger, and then their interaction, I just really, really liked them together. And like, he was really protective of her anyway, like kind of like a little sister thing now. And I think they could definitely love each other once they kind of got over what they had to do to get there. I didn't like Gil that much. His character didn't really develop, and he was very naive, I think. There was just so much drama around the whole Leo situation. It was so entertaining. Eowyn. I can't decide whether or not I like her. There are moments where I loved her because she would take charge, but she'd be kind, or she would give really wise advice or something like that. Then there's times where she was too pushy. Is she technically a princess? I'm pretty sure she is. At times she could just be irritating, I think. She would just be a little too strong, a little too opinionated. Either that or I didn't like the opinion she had. And because she was so strong about it, I was like, no, shut up, sit down. Okay. I really felt bad for her during this whole she be queen ordeal, because although she wants to be queen, yes, that's fine. She was the one that was going to get in trouble. We all know if the thing were to blow out, she would be the one to get in trouble. So I was really worried for her and felt really bad for her. I really love her character development. I think she definitely became wiser towards the end, and I really appreciated that. Her and Mary's character development were just spot on. She will be amazing as the little helper Merlin. I don't know what to think. She reminded me too much of Izzy from the Mortal Instruments, and I don't know why I don't like Izzy, but I can't stand her. She kept coming off that she like thought she was royalty and she needed to be treated as such, and how dare they put her in second accommodation. I just wish she could, be the bigger person, kind of like Mary. I feel like she didn't complain. She'd been used to way better, but she went off to a hotel and she didn't complain. She was like, yes, the food is delicious. That's just the difference between her. I'm not saying she has to be all humble and like, of course she can be annoyed, but I just wish she wasn't like so bratty about it. I'm sorry, I don't know. But then there were times where I understood her and I liked her. I felt this way towards all the characters pretty much. I really felt for her when Isabel was being horrible to her at the ball. And the ball was really nice because she looked beautiful. But the thing is, she knew she looked beautiful, so of course that irritated me. How she said no on the boat. So irritating. And like, I know she doesn't know. I don't understand. Like, I knew I wanted it to be given me like, surprise, you're actually marrying a prince, blah 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 blah. But I wish he would have just explained it better and was like, oh wait, I can actually afford you. And then she would like catch on in her brain that he liked champagne, and somehow these magical tickets appeared from nowhere. I feel like she could have figured it out that he was the one that gave her the tickets. And as I said about Wolf like 1,000 times, I love him. He is charming and fun and kind and selfless and thinks of others and is a gentleman and funny and cheeky and just amazing, pretty much. He was way better than Leo. Everyone was in love with this Leo. Leo didn't even sound attractive. He sounded like he looked weird to me. He sounded dead attractive. He was smarter. He was a better fighter. He was probably stronger. He was less manipulative and more down to earth. Why everyone preferred Leo, I will never know. Because he's charming, but he's just Okay, Isabel. All the confusion with her. I felt bad for the Hugh thing, and then later on we found out that he would actually come to her room in the middle of the night, which, ew. I felt so bad for her at the end when she found out that Louis just died. Louis was adorable. I loved him. I would have been so happy if they went together. See, there were times where I genuinely felt bad for her, but then she'd be so horrible, like at the ball. And I was like, you know what? You deserve it. Louis died, and then, of course, it was Hugh. At first I was like, is it the Queen? No, it was Hugh, and then she's pregnant, and it could either be Leo's or it could be Hugh's, and he's gonna take her, and she was like, yes, I will escape. I'm gonna talk about the whole end section later, but okay, this whole end ordeal, it was like the sequence of like plot twists. Some of them were a bit extreme and some of them weren't necessary, but I feel like some of them would have been really good if they were done right. The whole situation with the duel, I liked that Leo died. He will live another night. I will make sure of it. And then in the morning, he's not dead yet. Seriously? Please die in the morning. Princess Marie, I am sorry to say, but he is gone. He turned out to be a magician. Okay. Who is this son of this French man. He wasn't even Prussian. His mum has an affair, or no, his mum was raped by this French dude. I can't remember his name. So he is the son of this French dude, and that's why the mum always cried. And that's how he opened Pandora's box. And he secretly hated the Brito Franco, whatever it's called, empire, and wanted to tear the whole thing down. And so he tried to set the thing on fire. Okay, the whole barrels of wine actually being poison or explosives or whatever, I liked that idea. I didn't like how they found it out because it felt very rushed. Other than they had the barrel sent to a ship, and when they're like, yes, they did explode, they were indeed explosive. I just wish that could have been like a big dramatic sequence because it could have been exciting. And then this evil Leo ideal, it's a lot to take in. I wish it was like a slowed down conversation. It didn't feel realistic, and we kind of had some kind of foreshadowing or something so that it kind of really made sense, whereas we're just taking her word for it. So then it's this whole twin situation, and that Mary doesn't actually have these ailments, and the Merlin was slowly poisoning her, and then they sent over this Prussian dude as like a test, because easily Marie could have just pretended to not be queen and run off somewhere with that guard, and Eowyn could have pretended to be Mary, whatever. Like, you saw that coming. That was unnecessary, I think. They knew about Leo and how he wanted to kill them all. Did you though? Did you really? I mean, there's so much in that short little page. I felt like it was spaced out and there was time between each plot twist and like each of those things were kind of discovered. It all was too convenient. I would have been okay with another 100 pages just to spacing out that last little bit. And the end with Isabel and Ronan, how it just tells us that Isabel escaped and Ronan has a hat shop. I would have liked to see Ronan go off, or just like have like one last page with her dealing with the fact that she's not really with the wolf anymore and that she needs to move on and deciding what she's going to do. And I would like to see Isabel run away. Just seen her running away. That's all I need. That's all I need. It was really interesting though, and it was really hard to like put down. I was really sucked into it. I really did like the drama and the rumours and the ensemble and how like everyone was connected. It ended pretty wholly, so I feel like whatever's gonna happen next time will be pushed a little bit, but it's something to do with the Empire being in trouble and Avalon's in trouble. I'm excited to pick it up nonetheless. I just love this world. I wish it could be like about Wolf and Mary's daughter, kind of like all each of their descendants, and like have drama run around again. Archie and Patrick were the best. I wish we got to see more of them. They were so fun. The song for this is gonna be Rules by Lorde, of course. However, the funeral, I can't remember who it's by this band here, is also really cool. And it was the song that played to the back of the trailer, and it really kind of fits the moods great. So I'm gonna link both of them down below. That's what I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening / night. My name's Jade. I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye. My nails like camouflage. That's always nice. I can relate. I can understand. I read blah blah blah. What am I saying? Oh, I have like 3 pages. Like 3 full pages of the Ring of the Crown. She had a dream once that her daughter would betray her. That her daughter was a traitor. Oh.